going to show you how to do the homework for this week. I'm going to put the homework on this side of the screen and then have SPSS open on this side. So the first part, I'm going to want to put in our variables here. So I need to create these variables in variable view. Here we have a variable called age, so I'll pop that in. And then we have a variable called gender, a variable called major, and then one called GPA. Now for age and GPA, these are just numbers, so there's really nothing else I need to do after that. However, for gender, I need to assign numbers to these labels since these aren't numbers. I have the information right here how to do that. So I'm going to go to the values box for gender first. Click on this little box here. And if I click the add button, I'll pop in this coding scheme. So a 1 is going to be female, and a 2 is going to be male. I'll click OK on that. And then I also need a coding scheme for major, so I have that right here. So I'm going to go to major, the values, pop open this box, and I'll pop in all of these. So there's 6 of them, 3, 5, 6, all right. So 1 is going to be biology, 2 is going to be business, 3 is chemistry, 4 criminal justice, 5 psychology, and then 6 is sociology. And click OK. So now I've created the 4 variables. So if I go to data view, they're all set up right here, and now I can enter in the data. For this, I'm going to pop in age first, which is 18. Oops, let's see here. And then I'll just go in order 17, 19, 18, 18, 17, 18, 18, 20, and 19. Perfect. Now for gender, one thing I can do is pop in the numbers, or if I turn on this value labels button here, then if I double click on it, it'll create a drop down menu for me, which is nice. So I don't even have to remember that 1 is female and 2 is male. I can just do the little drop down menu. I always find that kind of easier. And I'll just copy the data that's listed right here. Let's see, number 5 is female, number 6 is male. We have 2 more females and 2 more males. There we go. I'm just, of course, copying this information down here. Same way with here. Here, it's really nice to have the drop down because I'm going to forget like what numbers each of these pertain to, but I can just use the drop down menu for that. Now, we're not really going to be inputting much data throughout the semester, so this is probably the only time for a homework anyway that you'll be putting in data by hand. Usually this will be done for you before class, and you can just open up the data file. But I did want you to get some experience just seeing how data gets put in here to begin with. And then the last one is GPA. I'm just going to type this in, so 3.80. Oops, I don't know why it's not doing the first number. There we go. 2.92, 3.55, 3.89, 4, 3.95, 2.97, 3.04, 3.73, and 4.0. So at this point, I've created my data set, so I basically am done with this step. I've translated this into SPSS. So the next step is I'm going to be creating a new variable called GPA rank, and I'm going to use the old variable GPA to create this new one, but I'm basically using these transformation rules. So anyone that's 2.5 to 2.99 is going to get transformed into a 1. And anyone 3.0 to 3.49 is going to be transformed into a 2, and so on. So to do that, I'm going to go to transform, recode into different variables, and then I'm going to use GPA as my old variable. And the new variable, right here, I'll give it the name GPA underscore rank. and click the Change button. Now I'll click Old and New Values. And I'm going to use the range feature right here, and that's where I'm going to copy in these ranges. So 2.5 through 2.99 is going to equal a 1. Click Add. 3 through 3.49 is going to be a 2. Oops, I forgot to click Add there. And 3.5 to 4 is going to be a 3. So these should look exactly like in there. Notice that as the hint, you add the labels onto the variables after you've created the variable. So we're not going to put in these labels yet. We're going to do that after we create the variable. So since I have this rule in there, I'll hit Continue and OK. And right now it just has the numbers, so I need to go back into variable view and then label these. I'll go to Values, click on this little box, and that's when I'll add the label. So 1, as it says right here, should be low GPA. A 2 should be medium GPA. A 3 should be high GPA. And I'll click OK. So once you have that, now in data view, it'll show low, medium, and high GPA. The last one, it says now we're going to compute GPA into a new variable called GPA%. And the computation rule is just taking GPA and divided it by 4. So let's do that. Let's go to Transform Compute Variable. We're going to create a new variable called GPA_%. And then the actual variable or the formula for that is GPA. We'll pop that in and then go divide by 4. And that's all we need to do. We can click OK. And it does exactly that. It gives us percentages for GPA. So that's it. All you want to do then is course save. I usually just save it on my desktop. I call it like Lab 1 homework. And then there it is right now. That would be the file that you turn in. So that's how you do the homework for this week.